Hello there, Bick Benedict here. We're playing God of War 1 on God difficulty, and this is my guide and walkthrough. We're currently on part 2, Shipwrecked Vessel 1. Shipwrecked Vessel 2 will take place after the next installment, after we do the boss fight. This section over here is fairly simple. It can be aggravating if you get a little unlucky, but generally speaking, the block has enough integrity to it to where it takes, I think, 4 direct, maybe even 5 shots. I think 5 stretching it. It's probably around 4 direct hits and it will shatter. And if that happens, another one just spawns in its place. And then after you jump up on the cargo net over here, they will also checkpoint it. So the main difficulty that I faced on this section over here is that there's a pretty lengthy section of climbing over here, and the grab is not the best in this game, as you just saw evidenced right there. The grab is not very good in this game. It's good in a general sense that it's powerful, but its detection on enemies it's pretty horrific at the worst cases. So when you're on the cargo net, you want to simply just grab guys, or even better, use the square button to stun them so they can't move. And the nice thing about this section is that the square button has a tremendous amount of range to it. So even enemies that you're swiping at to the left, even the ones that are above you, can get hit when they're well over you. So it's a little bit of a ridiculous thing to wrap your head around, but once you realize that it's actually for your benefit, you can kind of accept it a little bit more, I think, because on this section, this hadn't been refined. This is the first God of War. Everyone that followed got better in an iterative way. But since this is the first game, they really hadn't fine-tuned sections like this. So there's no sliding down really quickly to get out of the way of enemies. There is no... I don't even think that you can hit directly down. I think it's left, up, and right. And if I'm wrong, I apologize about that. But I don't think that you can hit downward. Now, if you need to hit downward, you can use triangle, and it does that heavier but slower swipe. Now, if you want to, you can face these enemies, because they don't infinitely spawn. You can face these enemies on the actual platforms. They do come up to you, and you don't even have to fight them if you don't want to. But the thing is, if you're trying to just rush up to the top, if enemies are above you, you have to grab them out of your way. You can't just jump on top of them and get above them that way. So kind of difficult to do that no damage, but the whole thing about no damage on this walkthrough is that I'm just trying to not even necessarily trying to better myself or be better at this game. I'm just trying to capture really good footage that I'm proud of, and that will make the guide even better. So that's all I really want to do with it. It's not showing off. It's just I'm trying to present competent gameplay to folks. I think that's the bottom line. And you could say it's ego and things like that, and it probably is a little bit. But as I've replayed God of War so many times, I've got less tolerant of making mistakes on my behalf, because I've gone through these games so much that I should be able to do certain things to a higher level in my mind, and just try to gate my progress behind little artificial barriers that I put up in my mind about not getting damaged and things like that. So as we get up here, we're going to be getting the magic attack. Unfortunately, the magic at the base level is very weak. Now, you can use it 3 times at the base level of MP, but there really is no getting around the fact that it's extremely weak. And if you don't upgrade it, the final boss, the clones, I should say, because it's basically just the clones. I think the clones serve the story well, but they don't they're a huge barrier for doing no upgrade runs and pain runs and things like that. And I almost wish that they weren't in this game. But from just a story point, I'm perfectly fine with them being in the game. But that's a tale for another story. We're going to be going into the third part here. We're going to be doing the boss fight. It's probably going to be a lengthy video, but we're going to do it no damage though. And I will see you over there directly. Take care and thank you for watching my guide.